And now, the return of the greatest show since the coronavirus started, the Tim Gillam Show!
Woo! The Tim Gillam Show is back! Alright, we took a few weeks off, but we are back stronger than ever here at the Tim Gillam Show. Just to catch you up, the world has gotten a little bit crazy since our last episode. We've got riots, we've got protests. In terms of the corona world, where are we? The health experts, they still can't figure things out. Statistics are showing that, it helps prevent the spread if we wear masks. We brought this up from day one. And despite all these statistics, this clown Dr. Fauci comes on 60 Minutes, like an hour after I spent $35 on Dodger masks, and says, you don't need a mask. I think we should be wearing masks, but...
Boo!
That's just me. Anyway, where are we right now? We are in King County, is in what's called Phase 2. Hi, Juju. Welcome to the show. King County is in Phase 2, which basically means that businesses can open, but with certain restrictions. Now, I went and got my hair cut the other day.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, finally. And among the litany of questions, one of the questions they asked was whether or not I recently have had severe diarrhea. Well, I asked them if they could classify severe diarrhea and, should we go into some details about it. Well, they just moved me on to the next question. Imagine that. So, yeah, that's Phase 2. And then the one thing about Phase 2 is that you still can't meet in large groups. You can't get together in large groups unless you are throwing a rock through somebody's window and looting their business. Then it's okay. But otherwise, you can't meet in large groups. So that's where we are. Let's quit screwing around, though. Let's get my co-host in here. You know her. You love her. Alexis Gillam. Alexis, come on in.
Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome back to the show, Alexis.
Thanks, Dad.
Have you kind of missed doing the show?
No.
Oh, okay. Not really? Yeah. All right, that makes me feel good. Mm-hmm. Alexis, so school. School's out.
Done.
As of Friday, right?
Woo! More like as of March, but...
I was going to ask you, so school is officially out.
It's officially out.
Out of Friday. On Monday, how is your life going to be any different than it's been the last 3 months?
It's not.
Yeah, exactly, my thought. So, I'm going to play a little scene from this morning.
Okay.
It was 11:30 a.m. Alexis was asleep, as usual, at 11:30. Went up to her room and I said, Alexis! Nothing. Alexis! Nothing. Alexis, I brought home donuts. Huh? Donuts?
In fairness to me, I really couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, okay, Alexis and Nathan, they're done with school. The big news, Jenna. Jenna has graduated from high school. Hey, Jenna! Way to go!
Thanks, guys.
Never thought she'd do it, but she's graduated now. She's sort of graduated. Because we haven't had a graduation ceremony.
Mm-mm.
There's been no graduation party, right? But she's done with school. She's, got the old cap and gown on. And last Saturday was supposed to be her graduation day and party. Obviously, nothing happened. And it was horrible outside. Do you remember this, Alexis?
Yep.
It was raining. It was pouring rain all day. So on the day we were supposed to be celebrating, we watched the Star Wars marathon instead. Six straight Star Wars movies from morning till night. We watched.
Well, I woke up kind of late. But...
Yeah. I did. I started a little early on you there. I probably had one down before you even got up. Mm-hmm. But we watched the originals, so Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then we watched the prequels, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and we finished off the night with Revenge of the Sith.
Lex and I didn't make it in time for the Phantom Menace. It was too early.
Actually, Jenna, if you were listening closely, Star Wars was the first one, the original, and then Empire Strikes Back.
No!
It was Phantom Menace.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was prequels
Oh, you're right.
and
I've already
originals.
forgotten they did it in that order.
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected. You're right. You missed Phantom Menace. Oh, boy. I'm getting old. I can't remember anything anymore. Anyway, we missed the whole graduation, but we got the Star Wars marathon.
We got what we really wanted.
So we thought as we were sitting there, right, we made many observations about Star Wars that we thought...
Lots of things we noticed we haven't noticed before. But...
We thought maybe the audience of the Tim Gillam Show might want to hear some of our observations, right?
Yeah.
And you really can't have a Star Wars conversation in this house without bringing in our Star Wars expert, Nathan Gillam. Nathan, come on in and join the program.
Woo!
Temperature checks.
Let's check it out. Are we under 100.2?
I don't know how this works.
Okay. Are we good to go with the show, Nate?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yeah, we thought we'd talk some Star Wars, and I was going to kick it off with kind of a pet peeve of mine on the Star Wars. You want me to tell you about this? So, when I was a kid, there was a show called Dallas. You guys heard of this show, Dallas?
No.
Probably an old person thing.
One of the main characters was a guy named Bobby Ewing, and he was played by an actor named Patrick Duffy. And midway through the show, Patrick Duffy decides, I don't want to be on Dallas anymore, right? So they write Bobby Ewing off the show, he dies, right? So Patrick Duffy then spends the whole next year realizing he can't get another job because people only want to see him as Bobby Ewing, right? Mm-hmm. So he decides he's going to go back on the show. And so the whole season that he was gone, they turned into a dream. They said it was a dream. Bobby really didn't die. The whole season was a dream. Why do I bring this up? Because I'm getting a little perturbed with all the Star Wars, the guy's dying, but they're not really dying, right? Yeah. Palpatine.
It's actually Sheev.
Sheev Palpatine. Did he not die? Did he not fall down the nuclear reactor in Return of the Jedi? Somehow he's back in Rise of Skywalker.
And then it blew up.
I mean, he is Sheev.
It's Sheev's world and you're just living in it.
Darth Maul, sliced in half by Obi-Wan Kenobi in The Phantom Menace, right? Somehow, Darth Maul is back in the Star Wars world, right? Boba Fett. Am I wrong? Did Boba Fett not get swallowed by the Sarlacc?
You never really saw his body get devoured, or he could have flied out because it takes 1,000 years to be digested.
The only thing I will give on the Boba Fett, which, by the way, now he's going to be in Mandalorian Season 2, even though he should be being digested with the Sarlacc. But the only theory I'll accept on this one was your Uncle Jason. Did you hear your Uncle Jason's theory on this? Mm-hmm. What was it?
What I just told you.
He had the jetpack, right? He had the jetpack and he flew out, right? So anyway, I'm just a little frustrated. The fact that you can't kill anybody on Star Wars anymore and they just come back. You guys agree?
Well,
probably not, huh? Alexis, I understand you have one that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, so when they're trying to hide Luke from Anakin when he turns into Darth Vader, they want to make sure that he doesn't ever find him, and they decide to give him to their relatives with the last name of Skywalker.
Skywalker. Brilliant decision there, Obi-Wan.
Last name.
Ba-dum-bum.
Like Obi-Wan.
Like, they're not going to figure that one out, right? He's got these special powers. His last name's Skywalker. Yeah. Good thinking there, right? Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Obi-Wan, have you guys noticed that Obi-Wan was at his best when he was hanging from a cliff?
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Darth Maul. He kills Darth Maul. He's hanging from a cliff. He fires up in the air. He grabs the lightsaber. He cuts him in half. Slices him right in half. Of course, somehow it didn't kill him. But you did that. And then in Revenge of the Sith, if you remember, he was hanging again when he was fighting General Grievous. Threw himself up in the air. Shot him right in the heart here and killed him. Obi-Wan, very good when hanging from a cliff.
There's someone that died, General Grievous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't a real person, though.
He was...
Nathan, speaking of dying, your Uncle Greg has a theory about Mark Hamill.
A very messed up theory.
You want to tell the studio audience about this?
The theory about Uncle Greg has about Mark Hamill is after A New Hope, he died in a car accident, and they got a doppelganger, so-called, of Mark Hamill to play Luke Skywalker from Empire Strikes Back on.
And what do you think about that theory?
There's not a lot going for it.
I think the thing maybe Uncle Greg doesn't realize is that, Luke Skywalker, or Mark Hamill, I should say, was like getting older, right? He was just a young kid when they filmed Star Wars. He was actually maturing and getting older. He maybe looked just a little bit different, right?
I don't know.
What do you think, Alexis? Is there any credence to this theory?
There's a little bit.
Seems a little sketchy to me.
All right, so maybe we're going to leave the conspiracy about Mark Hamill dying between Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back up to the imagination of the viewer, right? Is that
Yeah.
what we're going to do? All right. So the next one I want to talk about is Revenge of the Sith.
The best movie.
There's the big battle at the end between Anakin and Obi-Wan, right? And Obi-Wan says, "I've got the high ground, Anakin. Don't try it." Right? What's that all about? Why does the high ground matter at all?
I don't know. Because he's higher.
I mean, these guys, Attack of the Clones, they're like falling out of thin air for a mile, landing in speeders, right? These guys, they're causing spaceships to levitate in the air with these special powers. They're jumping, all over the place, and the high ground matters in a fight. I don't get it. You're just gonna accept it.
You underestimate my power.
Okay. Let's go to another one. Kylo Ren. What's your theory on why Kylo Ren went bad? No theory at all? Should we talk about Adam Driver's theory?
Yeah.
You guys know Adam Driver's theory and why Kylo Ren went bad? You don't know it? Do you know it?
Kind of.
You want to talk about it at all? No, you don't, do you?
Well, I don't know if I get it right.
Adam Driver's theory is that Leia and Han were so self-absorbed, so into themselves as heroes, that they would have been terrible parents. And his actual quote is, growing up as Kylo Ren would have sucked. So, there you go. Why did Kylo Ren go bad? It's because his parents were too self-absorbed. Alright? So,
I could definitely see that for
I
Han.
could see it, yeah.
we're going to just take a guess on this one. This has been my favorite thing, and I should have done this during our marathon. But I've always wanted to go back and watch the original Star Wars movies and count the number of times that the whole rebellion would have fallen apart if C-3PO would have listened, or if R2-D2 would have listened to C-3PO.
I'm
Right?
guessing over 10.
Over 10? You gotta give me a number.
14.
What do you got, Nathan?
300.
300 times that the rebellion would have failed if C-3PO, if R2-D2 would have listened to C-3PO. Alright, so let's just talk really quick then. Let's say, what is our, if anybody has a favorite character. Does anybody have a favorite character?
Obi-Wan!
Obi-Wan. Is there a reason why you like Obi-Wan? No reason at all.
He's a king.
You're adding a lot to the program here, Alexis.
I think the viewers understand why.
We know
There's no explanation necessary.
that the best character in Star Wars was
Sheev.
Chewbacca, right? Chewie had heart, right? He
Obi-Wan
had
had
a big heart.
Sheev
He
had
was
heart.
a mighty warrior.
Sheev was a mighty warrior.
And somehow everybody knew what he was saying when he was grunting.
And somehow
Everybody knew what
knew
Obi-Wan was
what
saying.
she was saying when he talked.
Let's talk least favorite. Does anybody have a least favorite
me.
character? Jenna, what do you got?
This is very common across the Star Wars community, but Jar Jar Binks. Can we just talk about how annoying he was? I just watched an episode of the Clone Wars, which is a spin-off series, where this man destroyed an entire ship by himself. Like, what a loser.
A Republic ship. Their ship, by the way.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? Any other
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, he's pretty annoying.
My most annoying character, Poe Dameron. What was this guy all about?
Gross.
He was constantly making the wrong choices. Leia was totally annoyed with him. And I believe that J.J. Abrams fired Colin Trevorrow, who was originally going to write the last movie, because he was going to have him kiss Rey. That would have been disaster.
Rey deserves better.
So, Poe Dameron. Okay, let's wrap it up with best movie. Which was the best movie?
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith here. What do we got?
Either Empire or Return of the Jedi or Revenge of the Sith.
That's
Boy,
three.
that's great, Alexis. I'm going with Empire Strikes Back. Do you have a reason on Empire or Revenge of the Sith, Nate?
Because of Sheev.
Because of Sheev. Nathan
Sheev gets his revenge.
Nathan loves Sheev. All right, folks. Thanks a lot for joining us this Star Wars edition of the Tim Gillam Show. I hope you tune in, and we'll be back for more. Thank you.
Sheev.